giving away an unopened box of Lorcana, the first chapter, that guy right there, to one of you guys. From now until December 31st, you can get a chance to enter for this awesome prize. All you have to do is subscribe and join the Discord channel, which is linked in the description down below. When you join the Discord, it's going to prompt you to select what content you're there for. Be sure to select the Lorcana tag. That way you secure your entry into the drawing. I'm going to be giving away this guy on January 1st. I'll be announcing it on the Discord. So be sure to subscribe, join the Discord, and may the Disney magic be ever on your side. Do you want to win a second entry for this booster box? Well, at some point during today's video, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to look for the answer down in the comments down below. So, I'm not going to tell you when that question's coming, but it's happening in this video. If you can answer the question correctly, you'll be entered for a little mini raffle to win a second entry for this booster box. I'm going to be doing this every day until December 31st, and on January 1st, we'll actually pull the box. So let's see how many additional raffle entries you can get. Welcome to today's Lorcana Pixelborn client video. Today we're going to be playing simply Sapphire to follow up yesterday's theme of Mono Colored decks. That's right, we're going to punch our way through them, which means the next couple of videos are pretty obvious. They're going to be monocolored as well, so in case that wasn't clear. Yesterday was Steel, and Steel surprisingly had an 80% win rate. What? Sapphire, on the other hand, I don't think will, but let's be fair, I also didn't think Steel was going to do all that great by itself either. So, this deck, we are running the Pawpsicle package because it is blue, how could we not? In fact, we're running a pretty heavy item package because I've realized so many of the Sapphire cards care about items. So there's 15 items, not going super crazy with it. A handful of Maurice's workshop, whenever we play another item, we may pay to draw a card. We got some ramp. We have launch as a form of removal. So 2 copies, because I don't know how good it's going to be. But we banish an item to deal 5 damage to a chosen character. So that's something this deck I thought was going to struggle with, is removal. But actually, between Hades, launch, and let it goes, there's actually 9 removals. But it could be 10, 11, 12. It could be as many as 12 removals if we really wanted. Let's see. Tamatoa cares about items. Maurice cares about items. Ariel Whoseit Collector cares about items. Noe cares about items. Belle cares about items. Judy Hopps cares about items. Nick and Flaversham. Well, Flaversham cares about items. Nick cares about one specific item. The only 2 characters in the deck that don't care about items are Mickey Mouse and Hades. One's ramp, one is removal. So 2 key components. And then of course we're going to run some coconuts, just because they're great items to blow up to all of our shenanigans. But also the incidental healing on some of these guys could be worth it. Everything in the deck could benefit from healing, including Noe, who has the resist 1 pretty much all the time throughout our deck. So it's possible that this character is only, sitting on a point of damage. So all the characters in our deck could actually benefit from the coconut basket. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know how well the deck's going to do, but there does appear to be a lot of synergy. So let's jump in and see if we can't win a few. Ooh, go in first. I do like that. Okay, so let's see. I have Noe's, I have ramp, I have 2 items for Flaversham, I have removal. Let's go. Let's do it. Am I going to play both Noe's? I might end up inking, because ink's going to be an issue. Let's do it. Let's ink. Now, my favorite part about the monocolored is it's very uncommon. I don't think even I've played against a monocolored deck. I saw you, Simba. Okay, so this is going to be a Stitch aggro deck. Okay, we're going to see some Lilos as well. Yeah, I haven't seen monocolored decks, so for most of this game, our opponent should be constantly scared about what our second color is, which may have what gave Steel some of its edge yesterday. Opponent, you do have to push past turn. That is a thing you do need to do. Or we can wait the 60 seconds for the timer, I suppose. There we go. Good job, opponent. You found the buttons. If they're going to big stitch, I might want to have my removal. I'm definitely going to try to ramp into it. I like him, Maurice, but he's got such a good card draw ability built into him. Free items and card draw. You're just too expensive right now. I'm gonna get Noe down. I'm gonna develop Mickey Mouse. And then if we need it, we'll have Let It Go for a Rockstar. Do not touch the beard. Oh, in case you guys didn't know, based on yesterday's video, today is the actual birthday, which doesn't quite line up, but my phone is blowing up from like all 3 people who know me. Simba. We're just gonna get some quests and some passes. Okay. Ooh, Pawpsicle. I do like me a Pawpsicle. Alright, since we have the Maurice, I will wait on that. But we are gonna develop, I think. I want to have the option of the Let It Go. This deck's gonna be a little bit more tricky than the Steel, I think. The initial plays can be slow, and the first form of ramp is Mickey Mouse. So this is like the fastest opening we could have. I mean, we could have turn 1 Pawpsicle and not had an uninkable in our opening hand. That maybe is something. But I could definitely Pawpsicle and play Flaversham next turn. Looks like opponents ramping up. I bet you there's Steel Song. They gotta be. Either we're gonna see a Swords next turn, or we're gonna see... If we're gonna see a Swords, then I definitely want to keep my item. Let's see. Am I getting rid of a Let It Go then? The hand's gonna get attacked. If the hand doesn't get attacked, then I want to keep my Tamatoa. There are more Tamatoas. He is pretty expensive. I could just be rude and take out the Ariel, but then we're going to have a Stitch next turn. I think we're probably going to see a Stitch and then a whole new world be sung. So either way, we're going to lose this, but I will hold on to it just in case. Let's start here. Got another Pawpsicle. Perhaps I just play a couple of items. Alright, Noe is safe. Now I just need some of my big characters. That's my fear with Sapphire, is that it's going to have a lot of like synergy and card draw and whatnot, but it has no power. There's no attack power in it until you get Tamatoa. And he's such a like take me out now character. I mean, let's be honest. Let me take a quick look. Our most powerful attack is Ariel, Hades, both at 3, and Tamatoa at 5. So yeah, we're very weak. So a fastish deck like this is not good. Any deck that commits to the board. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a bad day. We're gonna have a bad day. There just isn't the power in Sapphire alone. And by a bad day, I mean we're just gonna lose a bunch. Ah, see? Swords! Another Tamatoa. Do you want him? But we're not going to get to him. Not unless I can find some more ramp. Where's the Hades? See, Coconut's good. It heals some damage. I mean, no, he just gets double attacked, right? Like, we're just in deep doo-doo. Need to get some kind of synergy going. This doesn't heal on the enter. Only heals when other characters enter. Are we giving up Noe? I think we are. I gotta try to do something. These little characters aren't doing anything. At the very least, if I could bait my opponent out of questing and into attacking, they will have accomplished something. We might see another Swords from our opponent, though. They'll probably sing a few songs, which is not good for me. So they get a 1 point discount here. I don't like 0 to hero. It's not good enough. Saying that, I still got 2 removal spells, but I wish I had the Hades. Hades is honestly better. Well, I got the removal for Stitch. I got the removal for Big Cinderella. Problem is I just don't have power. I might have to retool the deck a little bit. There's a lot of synergy, but there's no power in the deck. Like, I can't deal with an opponent who builds a board, and all my opponents are going to build boards. Like, all of them are going to do that. So we're definitely going to retool the deck between these games. What could I possibly want to do here? I mean, Maurice is nice because he can eventually sing, but then we're taking a whole turn off, which is awful. Could have all 3 characters take down Simba. I mean, I think we have to get rid of this Stitch. Ariel seems nice, but all my items come down early. She comes down late, so it's kind of a nombo now that we're here and thinking about it. Could pop the Pawpsicle, heal the Noe so he doesn't flat out die to the Simba. Playing another character heals as well, so let's go Noe. And then all my characters will survive the Simba bout. These effects weren't so slow. I'm not gonna get the attack in. I'm doing it! I did it! Come on. Alright, that's the end of the first game. We don't have the attack power to actually compete with this. Alright, going first. Alright, so we've made a few changes. I did not know how weak Sapphire was until just now. Tamatoa is tied for one of the strongest attacking characters in all of Sapphire. Can you believe that? That is wild. For the cost, the knock is actually very reasonable for the 4 power. Like, if you want that 5 power, it usually comes at a cost of 6 or greater. So I got 4 knocks. I added 2 rabbits, which do, I believe, also have 4 power, but they have 6 toughness. Quest for 2. So a little on the up and up for those guys. But when it comes to like raw, unadulterated power, Sapphire doesn't have it. So it's going to be interesting because we really can't interact with the board except for a few pieces of spot removal. Alright, my phone is still going nuts. Pass the turn. There's an aggro plan you can do with the deck. Like, you could run the Duke Weaselton. He quests for 2 and he costs 2 as well. It's not the most aggro plan that you could do for the 1 costs. But Sapphire kinda has it. Okay, having an item's not good enough now. But I could ramp. Which I believe we will do. I will quest anyway. Madam Mim wants to attack. Let's let him. Now, before I get some angry comments down below saying, why didn't I play this card or that card? My goal when I'm looking at Sapphire is I'm reading all the cards, looking at all the abilities, and trying to find what, at least to me on the surface, for this particular deck, what felt like the most common thing. And items, by far, was on a lot of cards. Obviously, we played the first game, realized there's a critical flaw, that there's no power in it. We've tried to adjust it with this particular deck, but there's still there's still no power in the deck. Like, I added this guy so we could deal with things, but it dies to Madam Mim. Madam Mim's snake is like the least worrisome character in our opponent's deck, and that's what it trades with. So I think we're going to pitch the Mickey. It's possible I have a Hades next turn, but I'm going to blow up the Fishbone, I think, and draw some cards. Not great, huh? Alright, well, we can still have a Hades next turn. The good news of seeing Ariel, though, is we haven't seen many of the other items, so it's possible we could get a turn where we play an Ariel, pass turn, because we gotta wait for her to be questable, but the next turn, quest, play an item, quest, blow up the item with the quest, draw more items, play those items one at a time while I'm questing, so it's possible we could squeeze out 3 or 4 lore from this Ariel. It's not very likely, I doubt it's gonna happen. We're likely going to blow up the Minnie Mouse with our Hades, because it's something we can't really deal with. It's a lot of knocks. I will deal with that. Fortunately, I have no items, so that sucks. Ooh, so as it's looking right now, Steel is easily hands down the #1 best mono color, and Sapphire is easily hands down the worst of the mono colors. But there's only 2 of them, so tomorrow we get to find out where the 3rd color sits. Rabbit. I do always wonder why we see meta decks in the lab. I know that the ranked hasn't started up yet, but this isn't the place for meta decks. Ooh, a Tamatoa, you say? A Tamatoa. I only got 1 item, so I guess I'll get it. I'll make my opponent be the one to trade with me. Now, they could throw Merlin just for the card draw. But if they want to wipe out the Hades just with what's on board, nothing within hand, it would cost all 3 characters if they wanted to throw the Merlin under the bus. So that's not really worth it. Here's the first trade. We're going to get the 3 for 1 out of Hades, because he already took out a character. Alright, we're gonna see a fox. We are gonna see a fox. It's funny, it doesn't matter how predictable your opponents are, because there's no interaction in this game. It doesn't matter how well you can predict their moves, because the moves are still good, because there's nothing you can do about it. Do I blow up the item? I mean, I'd probably blow up the item. I don't have any Pawpsicles. No, I don't. Just gonna be mana efficient. I know there's like a 2-turn delay or whatever we could do with Ariel. This card's so slow, man. It's so slow and our items are so cheap. The items always come down first. Alright, so now we're gonna see Tamatoa get defeated. Little unfortunate. If we top deck another Tamatoa, that'd be great, but I think I'm down to 3 in the deck. And we inked one. So there's 1 left in the deck. 1 out of 43. Can we get it? Probably not. I'm going to be happy if we can win even 1 game today. But I will be honest with you guys. It is my birthday, so today's video is definitely on the shorter side. That's a little bit unfortunate. Let's see what else we can draw. I could draw a bunch of cards. Wow, that's a lot of uninkables. That's a lot of uninkables. There are 16 in the deck. A little more than I like to have. Actually, I think there's less now. There's 13 in the deck now. We got to stop this card draw engine at all costs. Sapphire's the most threatening color. Our 4 power could easily handle all of their stuff. It's so true. Sapphire's characters are the worst. I didn't know. I had no idea until today. When you're forced to play with just a single color, the weaknesses become glaring. The best characters in this are Hades and Tamatoa, and they're so expensive that they're hard to be super reliable. It's a fine card. It's sad when Rabbit's like one of our tankiest characters in the whole deck. Rabbit. Rabbit is one of our tankiest characters. Rabbit. No abilities. Rabbit. It's almost comical. Rush. Your other characters with Rush gain evasive. Wait a minute. How come this gained... Oh, your other characters with Rush gain evasive. For some reason, I read it the other way around. I read it as evasive gains Rush. Alright, opponent's in a winning position. I do squeeze out 2 extra lore if I happen to have an item when I draw. That is an item. Quest. Plays an item. Untap, untap, draw. Look at that. Quest. I won't have the extra to pay to draw the extra bit. Blow it up. Nick Wilde. Get the Pawpsicle back. Play the Pawpsicle. Ariel, draw a card. Quest. Wow, we actually did a thing. That was pretty good. Alright, both of the Ariels are about to die. I can feel it. But will we lose Rabbit as well? They gotta take out Rabbit if they can't take out Nick Wilde. Opponent's got a lot of shenanigans. Let's not even think about it, because yes, the opponent will survive the turn. They will figure it out somehow, and all I have to do is watch. I don't have to think about it, because I'm gonna watch how they do it. There's the first one. You know, with the Ariels, is it worth bringing in the Eye of Fates? Just a copy or 2? It's so tough because it's like, it's also expensive. But that's kind of what Ariel wants, though. Something a little bit more expensive. Opponent, are you going to have the ability to actually take down Rabbit here? Oh, question's not a good sign. Unless they're planning to play a Fox. And then they're just betting I don't get another item. Yeah, that's their play. Their play is to bet I don't get another item. Oh, opponent, no! You have to have something else then. Come on, you have to have something else. Oh, it was the misplay. Hey, we actually got a victory. I'm going to look into bringing in some Eye of Fates. All right, going second. So I took out one Belle, this Belle right here, and one the Knock to bring in two Eye of the Fates. Okay, I do kind of want to get Ariel down early. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to ramp into her. She's always coming out on turn 4 because all of our ramp is on turn 3. So technically I could have a turn where she quests for 4. It's a long ways out from now, but technically I could have it. That means I'm doing pretty much nothing for a super long time. In fact, I'm not even getting a character on board until I get to Belle. Alright, let's keep the removal. Nick Wilde's actually a pretty good combo with the Ariel. Alright, sorry Coconut Baskets, you're just not good enough. Sucks because they're items. I would rather have a handful of characters, I think, in the early game. Should have got rid of these. We're still learning. There's got to be a way to make Sapphire feel consistent and good. If opponent's playing Sapphire, though, we might have some time. We'll see how quickly our opponent can ramp. No, they're definitely an item-themed deck, so we're going to see the Nick Wildes, we're going to see the Hirams, we're going to see the Tamatoa, probably going to see the Noise. Grandma Tala is one that I consider for this deck, but I think the issue is wanting to have room for enough items. And then a lot of the item synergy cards. Honestly, Maurice should probably come out. Grandma Tala is probably better. Maurice is just so... His ability is fantastic, but it never happens because the rest of the deck wants to be played at different times. Wish I could ink that. That's what this guy's for. Am I going to do another turn with no plays? I think so. I mean, I don't know what I'm ramping towards. Obviously Hades, Tamatoa, but I don't have those. Ariel's fairly useless. The turn she's played. Opponent has all of the Pawpsicles. I would love to see an Ariel and followed up by all of the Pawpsicles. That'd be fantastic. Especially multiple Ariels. All 4 Pawpsicles. Wow, opponent just literally had them all. Okay, not a bad draw. Quest for 2, quest for 2, quest for 2. That's what those guys all have going for them, but very low power, very low power, very low power. Am I about to give up my strongest power? I think so. Just a ramp. Obviously, they're paired with Ruby. There's very few other solid colors to pair with. It could be Steel, but Steel's just... It doesn't do the job the same way that Ruby does. So, I mean, once we go white on our board, then we just get hit with the board wipe. It's a little unfortunate. So we're going to get 1, maybe 2 quests out of this. My mommy is trying to call me. No, I'm not answering the phone. I'm making a video, mother! Alright, opponent. There we go. Ooh, you hate to see it for the opponent. That is obviously one of the weaker colors to pair with. Ruby is so savage with blue. Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. Ooh. Ariels? I have no items to follow up with. Of course I don't. Could get up to 6 and then play both my little guys. And then destroy the item to draw a card. I'll keep the removal just in case. I'm gonna destroy my own item. I want to draw the card. Ooh, Hades, anyone? Alright, opponent doesn't have removal. I mean, obviously they have Hades and Let It Goes, but they don't have board wipes. That makes their deck significantly weaker than we were expecting it to be. Not weak. Don't get me confused. It's not a weak color combination. It's just way weaker than we thought it was going to be. That Mim probably has them feeling pretty good too. But they don't know about the Hades. The problem is I'm about to ramp my opponent into a Hades, aren't I? I play Hades, put it in their inkwell, then they play Hades, get rid of my Hades. Yeah, we're about to ramp our opponent into a Hades. I really like this card though. But if that's the case, I need to keep my Let It Go for their Hades. Alright, let's get rid of their Madam Mim. So in theory, Belle and Judy Hopps are safe. It is possible I could play Let It Go in an Ariel if they have a Hades. All I have to do is draw an Inkable. That'd get me up to 9. I'd have no hand at that point. Definitely top decking for my life. Versus an opponent with a full grip. Alright, will we see their Hades? Surely they have them in the deck. Yep. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter how predictable your opponent is. Because you can't respond to anything, it doesn't matter. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. You want to play a game of Hades? Nobody beats the Hades! What can I say? I'm the Lord of the Underworld. Oh man. Come on, one more Hades. It would be hilarious. Like, we're not even inking anymore. We're just letting our opponents fill up our own inkwells. Could really use an item. Guaranteed 2-tap or possible 2-tap but slightly stronger body and also more expensive and harder to get down into play. I think we go Ariel because Ariel, her payoff depends on being able to exert when items are able to also come down. Noe just cares if items are present. We'll always tap for that too. We're just going to play into Ariel having the potential to actually synergize the way she's meant to. Also, this Belle being totally useless. I haven't come across a single item since Belle hit the field. To be fair, I did have to ink like 4 items or some nonsense. So. Now, if we went into a Pawpsicle frenzy, Pawpsicle after Pawpsicle, that would be sweet. I would not be upset by that. Okay, I do got an item. Okay. I got a Noe with ward up. So there's no targeted removal, and they don't have board wipes. So they need to win the game right now. Right? I can't think of anything. There might be something. I think Noe automatically wins the game having ward. I don't think there's anything my opponent can do. Did we just win another game? We're 2 out of 3. Maybe Sapphire's not the bottom of the barrel. It probably is. My guess is Sapphire will probably be bottom of the barrel for Mono Colored. Leave your guesses in the comments below. I need to know. Speaking of which, direct message me. What is... Oh, I don't know. DM me the title of this deck. I said it several times. It's if you follow the link in the description down below to the deck list, you'll also see the name of the deck. Leave a comment. Who's your favorite character specifically in Sapphire? Who's your favorite Sapphire character? Who's your favorite Sapphire card? That's the decoy comment to throw off all the would-be cheaters. And then DM me the name of this deck for your raffle entry. I almost forgot to get it in. I almost forgot that today's video is going to be shorter. Noe for the win! Heck yeah! And for the post-game wrap, I did something today that I don't normally do. Don't expect it for future decks. I might do it with all the mono colors just because it's mono color and it's limited anyway. I made changes mid-game. So the first game and the second game are not the same list that you're going to see from the link. The link is going to bring you to the most updated version. Ultimately, let's see what changes we make. I took out the card where you destroy an item to deal 5 damage. That came out because it's uninkable. I brought in 2 copies of Eye of the Fates. I brought in the Knock and Rabbit because we quickly found out that Sapphire does not have the capacity to do combat. They're very weak. 5 is the biggest power Sapphire has, which makes it a little challenging. Having said that, it's possible that both the Maurices come out. They largely did nothing. That's not true. They always got inked. They always were inked. Both the Maurices come out. Let's go up 1 Hades. Let's come down 2 Ariels. So there'll be 2 Ariels in the deck. That leaves us 3 empty slots. And then with those 3 empty slots, we're going to do a 1-drop Grandma Tala to help with some of our ramp. Because our early game is absolutely atrocious. So by this way, we're going to work on an early game a little bit. Knock out 1 more uninkable, bringing us down to 12. And get rid of a useless... I mean, Maurice feels like such a fantastic card. I love his double ability. He seems broken, but you just can't play him at a time where you could take advantage of his abilities. Like, it just doesn't happen. Everything else comes out so quickly, so early, and then you can play him, and then his abilities do nothing because you played everything already. Or you take off all of the early game, then you're not doing anything, and then you play Maurice, and then you get a bunch of advantage. That feels also really bad. If you can find yourself in a position where your hand is nothing but these early characters, sure, maybe you just curve up to Maurice, fine. And then you're drawing, what, 1 item to get? Hopefully you have a Hiram ready to go to draw you more cards. I don't know. Maurice, very strong, very broken, impossible to play and impossible to use correctly. I really want to use him, but take him out, make those changes. I think that's the way this deck needs to go. That's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. There's links in the description down below for the Discord, so you can get in on the booster box. There's also links for the deck list itself to come get this guy, so you can just copy paste them into excuse me, copy them into pixelborn so you can play it right away. And then of course there is the Patreon link. If you want to help support the channel, it's $5 a month. There's other tiers, but $5 a month is your foot in the door. You get all the videos 2 days before everyone else. That's right, Patreon members saw this video 2 days ago. They're already 2 days ahead of you. Not only did they, you're watching this video right now, and you're like, oh, they already saw this 2 days ago. Well, just think, they're already another 2 days ahead of you. There's still 2 more videos you have no idea about. They've already seen them. So, there's that link as well. That's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.